This is Cyberpunk 2077 running on a 4 gigahertz Intel Core i7 4790K with 32 gigs of RAM and a 4 gig NVIDIA GeForce GTX 980. So currently we are running 1080p resolution, and then what I've got on the settings, I've got AMD FSR3 turned on, running at the quality preset, which is the lowest amount of upscaling, and I am running the AMD FSR3 frame gen. Now, I know a lot of people do not like, quote, fake frames and upscaling and all of that, but I have spent like 30 minutes playing with this at various different settings with and without frame gen and upscaling, and I can honestly say the best visual experience is how I have it set right now. So you can sit there and say, oh, I see jank, whatever. For the overall best balance of visual quality and frame rate and setting level, this does look the best. I tried it with the settings turned all the way down. I was thinking maybe if I ran it without any of the upscaling or any of that, but with the settings turned all the way down, maybe it would look a little bit crisper, like not as much eye candy, but the visuals be a little bit crisper. And I actually found that that was not the case. Native res, without any upscaling or frame gen, with just a little bit lower frame rate and none of that, it did not look as crisp, which I actually thought it would, but it did not. So I would definitely recommend running it the way I'm running it here. And there wasn't a lot of middle ground between that 60-70 FPS and something lower but higher quality. It was like either this, where it's a little bit higher frame rate than it actually needs to be, or lower frame rate than it needs to be. I couldn't really find a really good like 45 to 55, which in this game my experience is usually looks fine. Now you are going to want to run this at 1080p, but you're going to want to run it on a 1080p monitor. It actually looks pretty good at this setting and resolution level if you're actually on a 1080p monitor. It kind of looks terrible stretched on a lower resolution monitor. I'm sorry, on a higher resolution monitor. I'm running it stretched on my 4K 32 240 right now, and it doesn't look very good. But when I look over at the preview window that's actually running at 1080p in a window, it actually looks quite a bit better. So I would definitely say you're going to want to run a real 1080p monitor to get the most out of this experience. And somebody looking to game on an ultra budget desktop like this, I would absolutely say your better bet, even though for your static stuff, your web browsing, your photo editing, anything like that, a 1440p would be perfectly fine on this setup. I would say if you're buying this to game, your best bet is a high quality 1080p monitor, something like a modern IPS, like 144, 240 hertz, like an ASUS, something like that. That's really going to be your best actual experience. Trying to run it at on a 1440p monitor, but stretched 1080. I mean, it's not going to look atrocious, but it's going to look better native. So I would stick with a native 1080p, like a 1080p 27 would be perfect for this setup. But anyway, I think this gives you guys a pretty solid idea of what to expect on Cyberpunk 2077 running on the 4 gigahertz 4790K with the GTX 980. So I hope you guys found this interesting, and thanks for watching the video.